So today we're unboxing the brand new Adidas F50. Yes, they've brought them back, and this is the brand new release colorway. It is part of their limited collection, and I picked these up in a size UK 10.5. Here is a look at the label. As you can see, this is the laceless version. I do have the laced version on the way as well, but this is the first one I can get my hands on, so we're just doing an unboxing and a review of these. I'm really excited to open these. So we'll start by opening up the box. And what's different about this pair is they come with a set of spare insoles. I've not seen that in so long. So these are what known as the comfort insoles. So they're slightly thicker, but there really isn't too much of a difference. But these ones are supposed to be a little bit more comfy if you're after that in a football boot, or if you want the pure speed ones where they're a little bit thinner. But I promise you, they don't really make much of a difference. Also comes with a little shoe horn as well, as you can see here. And this is because it's the laceless version, just makes it a little bit easier to put them on because it can be quite tricky. Of course, we also get a boot bag as well with the F50 branding, if I could undo this, with the F50 branding on the front as well, and a small Adidas logo in the corner, but nothing too fancy with the boot bag. And then the paper, as you can see, is branded with F50 all over it, but we'll move that and take a look at the boots. Check these out. So here are the boots. The F50 is back. And what do you think of it? Yeah, I'm a big fan of this colorway. However, I'm not a big fan of the laceless version, so I cannot wait for the lace version to arrive, because laceless just isn't a bit of me. So this F50 was inspired by the chameleon colorway that Messi wore back in the Barcelona days. Put a picture up on the screen so you can see them, and you can see the resemblance. This boot is very similar to that one. However, it has a few modern details that we'll dive into. So this F50 has what's called sprint web and also fiber touch. And if you look towards the front of the boot, these textured patterns here are incredibly grippy. If I rub my finger over it, properly will not move. It is really strong, grippy, and that bodes well for grip on the ball. Even in wet conditions, I think this will hold up really well, and the grip is really strong towards the toe box area in these extra gripped padded areas. I have to say, I'm very impressed by that. In terms of how light this boot is, it's kind of hard to put into words how light it actually feels in hand, especially without any laces. It just gets a little bit less complicated, and it honestly feels like I'm holding a sock. It is that light. On the outside of the boot, you obviously have the F50 branding above the Adidas stripes, which I think could have been designed better. I do really like the 3 Adidas stripes on the side. However, I'm not sure about the F50 placement, but maybe it'll grow on me. On the top of the boot, we have a small F50 branding once again, and then the upper obviously has that sock-like material here, which is very stretchy. However, I would say it is actually still quite difficult to put your foot in. I did try, and it took a little bit of a while. In terms of sizing, if I compare it to the Adidas Predators that I have here, I wear a UK 10.5 in these because they actually fit really small. I went for a 10.5 in these, but I think you could get away with a 10. It does run a little bit longer if you are wearing these compared to the Predator. Predator is a smaller fit, so I went UK 10.5, whereas this one, I should have gone a UK 10. Spinning the boot upside down, and we take a look at that stud pattern, and my God, that stud pattern is amazing. And there's many reasons why I like this stud pattern a lot, and that is because at the front of the boot you have some very aggressive studs which are great for sprinting. However, if you go further back to these 4 studs here, they have a more of a conical shape, as you can see here, which means that this boot works on FG and AG, which is perfect because a lot of people play on AG now, and boots aren't really made for that, but this one has taken that into account, and you can wear it on both. So the stud pattern is very aggressive, but also really good on AG, and I really like how they've just designed it for the general player to wear on pretty much every single surface, and that is a great thing. So you don't have to buy multiple studs, you don't have to get an AG and FG and then the SG. You just need this one and then an SG version for the wet conditions. In terms of how the sole plate looks, I have no complaints at all. I think it looks so nice, and if you look towards the bottom part here, if I turn it in the lighting, you'll see it does have that kind of multicolored look, which looks fantastic. However, you're never going to see this when it gets dirty because it is practically a white sole plate, but it's just going to get so much mud on it. On AG, it will look really nice though. At the back of the boot, we have a lot of heel padding, and I have to say I'm very impressed by this. It is extremely cushioning and really comfy at the back of your heel, and that is a big thing for me. So I've had a lot of ankle injuries. I get kicked all over the pitch, and this heel is so cushioned and comfy. It feels so good on feet. And what they've changed about this is they've made this heel cup slightly lower here, so there's less irritation on the heel part back here, which is fabulous. I have to say, big improvement, and I really do like it. The branding at the back, as you can see, it's just the Adidas logo in the Volt yellow on that purple upper. I think it's nice, simple enough, and it does the job. Didn't need to be any fancier, and sometimes simple is the best. So if we take out the shoe treat from inside and we take out the insole, if I can get it out, here is the insole. So it looks relatively the same, but obviously it does say speed on it, and that is because this is incredibly thin compared to the other insoles, where you can see the thickness is a big difference between the two. However, in terms of feel, it just makes the boot feel a little bit smaller if you wear the comfort ones. Other than that, you're not going to notice a difference. When I talked about the stud pattern earlier and how impressed I was with the FG and AG version basically all in one, I am a little bit disappointed that they didn't bring out an SG version, just because in certain countries like the UK it rains an awful lot and it's nice to have an SG version. Maybe they will do it in other colorways, but in the launch colorway they didn't do it. They just did it in this limited sole plate like this and in this color. But a little bit disappointing, but maybe in the future other colorways will come out of an SG version. So like I said earlier, I've got the laced version on the way and I'll be doing a review of that. That's probably going to be the pair that I'm going to wear, because I don't really like the laceless version, just how it feels, just doesn't suit my kind of style, and I like to know the boot is tight on my feet. And this one has good lockdown, but in my mind I just don't feel like it does. But let me know down below in the comments what you think of the Adidas F50. Are you happy that they brought it back? Is this something that you'll be putting in your collection or even playing in? Yeah, big fan of these. They sold out so fast. Laced version sold out even quicker. That was really difficult to get. You just had to be notified on the restocks, but it was hard to get. This one, yeah, I'm not sold on it because of the laceless version, but because the lace one's coming out, I'm very happy. Love the colorway, I think it's so nice, and I'm excited to see what Adidas do with the F50 line. I know there is another colorway coming out, it's white, blue and red for the Euros, but I prefer this one, so yeah. And that sole plate, yeah. I'm always a fan of a colourful sole plate. But let me know what you think of the F50. Would you make any changes? Or what colorways are you excited for? The brand new F50. Yes, the F50 is back.